So I debated about doing this video today. I debated whether it was appropriate because I always love to appreciate art. I love to view art in my collection. I also love to view art in your collections, especially stuff that I don't get in. Stuff that I know that's not going to come in the Batcave. I'm talking about Star Wars or Marvel or Harry Potter or whatever collectible that you collect out there. And one collectible that I do not collect is, of course, Superman. I've had Superman in the Batcave a few times, but it is not a character that I love. I loved him as a child, but I don't collect him, okay? If that makes sense. So, again, I was debating whether I should bite my tongue on this matter, and I just can't. I can't bite my tongue on this one. I always try to see both sides of the coin. I always try to be fair, but when it comes to this particular piece, and I'm talking about the brand new Christopher Reeve Superman, I'm just incredibly disappointed. I'm going to show you some photos today from collector Stewart Murray. And Stewart is phenomenal. He's got phenomenal reviews and things here on YouTube. But he posted a bunch of photos, and I know a lot of collectors have been getting this Superman in hand. Photos are always subjective, right? Photos are always subjective. A lot of times they're bad, but Stewart always takes really good photos, okay? This Superman is, in my opinion, for the price point, unacceptable. It is unacceptable with the way it turned out. It's frustrating because I know that there are worldwide events, there's factory issues, there's all of that stuff. And Sideshow, in my opinion, does phenomenal work. They have been knocking it out of the park. The stuff that I have been getting in recently has all been top notch. But I do feel like this one is a giant miss. I'm going to show you photos here. I'm going to talk over them. But from afar, this statue looks good. Is it perfect? No. But is it Christopher Reeve? Yes. Now, Sideshow did a Christopher Reeve years ago, and it looked good. It was like this dam that was busting open, but the problem with it is it had a PVC head, plastic head, and at the time that was unheard of. Like, now it's more commonplace. You see it, Blitzway does it, and it's really come a long way. So it actually looks really good now, at least for the most part. I know, again, that's going to be subjective. Some collectors hate it. But back then, that was a big deal. So now Sideshow is going to come out with this new piece. Now, whenever I saw it in San Diego, I thought it looked decent. I thought that the likeness was there, but was it perfect? No, it still wasn't perfect. And a lot of times it comes down to paint. I do think that the sculpt on this portrait is there. I think it looks like Christopher Reeve. However, I think it's just the paint application that throws it a little bit. Obviously, the big deal here is the head. It looks okay from the front, and again, that's subjective, but the seam line on this is absolutely horrendous. And it's unnecessary because there's no portrait swap out. There was absolutely no need for this seam line. And not only is there a seam line up the neck, there's also a seam line from the ear down that's also unnecessary. We've come way past this, guys. I mean, that's like an action figure head. We've come way past that in statue collecting. So I am absolutely astonished that this is the product that they delivered. Again, I just feel like it's a surprise from Sideshow. It's a big miss from them. Also, the S on the back of the cape, to me, again, subjective, I think it's awful. Somebody might say, well, that's on the back. You're never going to see it. You're never going to see the seam line as long as you display it from the optimal viewing angle. I get that. And again, if you're happy with it, that's awesome. Again, there's going to be a lot of collectors that are real happy with this piece. I just feel like for the price point, those two items especially, the head sculpt with the seam, the cut and sew, usually is so much better on Sideshow. And so I'm just shocked. Because, again, Sideshow to me is a phenomenal company. They have tremendous product. The last piece that I got from them was the Batman Who Laughs, premium format, phenomenal, one of my favorites. The Harley life-size bust, of looking at her, she's phenomenal. This one, I just feel like it misses the mark. And again, I just feel like it's unacceptable. I feel like that is, in 2022, leading into 2023, it's unacceptable to release a head sculpt like that at that price point. That's just me. So, I'm on my little soapbox. That's my little rant. I want to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Are you surprised? This also goes back to like people waiting. We talk about pre-orders. We talk about, is it worth it? There's so many sales these days. They made a lot of these Supermans. This Superman is going to be on sale for a long time. So you would think that they would want to get it right the first time instead of having to sit on an inventory in a warehouse and not selling these things. That's just me. I just feel like this is a one-off for them. But it's disappointing. And I feel sorry for collectors that are excited about this piece and then they get it and they're like, oh, this is awful. But again, you might love it. And if you love it, that's awesome. I just feel bad for collectors that pay a lot of money. So I just wanted to voice my opinion on it. I feel like Sideshow could have done better on this, and they usually do. They usually do better. And so that's why I'm surprised. But anyway, I want to turn it over to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, thank you guys so very much for listening to me rant for a little bit. And I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.